Pyongyang wakes up early when morning radio programs and announcements sound from loudspeakers in the housing estates, and residents check their assignments for the day and set out to work according to the orders received from the local administration. The city streets in the morning look orderly, with visible patrols and checkpoints, while grand avenues and monumental building facades are meant to emphasize ideological order and the symbols of the state's narrative in public space. Public transport functions as the backbone of daily travel, and residents move about by trams, trolleybuses, and the subway, which is also used as a shelter and at the same time serves a transport function. The interiors of apartment blocks are furnished modestly, with an emphasis on functionality and communal use of space, where whole families often live in a single state-assigned flat and share household duties. Daily rituals include morning cleaning of stairwells and preparing shared meeting places, and neighbors take part in mandatory meetings during which social tasks and production plans for the next period are discussed. Schools educate in the spirit of patriotism, and the curriculum includes learning songs, reciting slogans, and participation in sports activities that integrate youth and serve to select active participants in public life and to build discipline. In district centers, social stores and canteens operate, but shortages and rationing mean that residents replenish supplies at informal markets, creating parallel supply networks close to the estates. An important element of the morning routine is television broadcasts, where news and cultural programs set the rhythm of the day, and every major celebration or speech is reflected in household conversations and gatherings. Work in factories and plants is carried out according to established norms, and workers also attend afternoon party meetings meant to remind them of duties to the collective and to shape loyalty to state leadership. In city parks and along the Taidung River, residents walk on designated paths, and these places serve both for recreation and for organized physical exercises or propaganda gatherings involving local leaders. Cultural institutions, theaters, and people's houses offer performances and choral presentations, but the repertoire is strictly controlled, and participation in events is treated as a form of ideological education and an element of social life. In Pyongyang, there are designated zones with a higher housing standard for people from privileged groups, which affects access to better services and aesthetic spaces while simultaneously fueling a sense of social inequality. The city displays a spare yet monumental architecture with socialist realist affinities, so promenades and squares form a theatrical set that the authorities use to stage mass events and official demonstrations. The capital's subway is notable for its deep stations decorated with mosaics and sculptures that combine a transport function with the symbolic role of shelters. Riding the escalators is often part of residents' daily routine and visitors' experience. Advertising, sales, and private services are limited, so many repairs and small services are carried out in apartments, fostering local informal entrepreneurship and reciprocal exchanges of neighborly services. Health facilities provide basic care, but advanced treatment can be hampered by limitations in supplies and equipment, causing residents to resort to traditional remedies and self-help in emergency situations. Daily life also includes sporting activities on neighborhood pitches and sessions in workplace clubs that promote a healthy lifestyle and prepare teams to participate in events of local and state significance. Indicators of social status often include housing allocations and access to better shops and services, and a classification system based on political loyalty affects prospects for advancement and families' living conditions in particular districts. Evenings in the city center offer limited entertainment, and venues for foreigners and selected residents provide restaurants and cafes that operate under special rules and administrative oversight. Street spaces are carefully maintained, but behind the facade of order lie logistical problems and periodic supply shortages, which lead to improvisation and practical resource management strategies in households. A culture of remembrance and respect for state symbols permeates every aspect of the day, so residents participate in occasional ceremonies and gatherings that reinforce ties to history and legitimize the authorities' role in public life. The education system and workplaces jointly create mechanisms of oversight, and local committees are responsible for monitoring media consumption and participation in events, which influences social conformity and residents' behavior. The city has tourist service points and venues for receiving delegations, but foreign traffic is controlled, and tourists move with guides along carefully selected routes and attractions. Specialized artistic institutions train performers who then present political and cultural programs on stage, and young artists take part in preparations for mass national ceremonies. The market for spare parts and small goods operates through informal exchanges among residents, enabling the repair of household appliances and the maintenance of basic equipment despite restrictions on foreign trade. The city has a network of libraries and houses of learning where students and workers use educational materials. However, access to foreign publications is restricted and subject to selection in line with the official ideological line.